will be live on Facebook Live. We just got to get to the proper page. And there you go. They're asking me what's on my mind. What's on everybody's mind today, I guess, what's been on our mind every day now for weeks. There we go. And we are starting the live YouTube. We've got the YouTube video going. YouTube Comedy Schools channel. Please subscribe. We are live on ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com. If you're listening there, type in a comment. Type in a comment and say hi. And, of course, here on Facebook Live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, April 8th, 6th. I don't know. I've lost track. 7th. April 7th. I didn't guess right either time. April 7th, 2020. And it's 2 o'clock. And as we've said, hey, Diane Howell, as we have promised you every day at 2 p.m., we are bringing you this show called Living on a Thin Line. Hello, Christian Price. Hello, Cousin Mary. Hello, Diane Howell. We're bringing this to you every day at 2 p.m. just as a way to give you maybe a little distraction from the everything that's going on in the world today. It's not a way to try to mitigate it or say that it's not taking place or anything like that. There's a lot taking place. But every once in a while, we need a break. Also, for my wife, who happens to be my producer, Shirley Vicich. We decided that we needed, hello, David Van Winkle, that we needed to create new realities for ourselves. We needed to create new schedules. Our old schedule was totally wiped away by this entire thing, being in the live performance business. And instead of sitting around staring at our feet or staring out the window, which is pretty darn easy to do right now, we decided we would do something we've been planning on for years, which is try to move as much, if not all, of our program of our business to an online business. And one of the things that we're doing every day is this show at 2 p.m., this silly, goofy show called Living on a Thin Line, where I show you some goofy knickknack or memento or memorabilia that I have sitting around here in the home office in wonderful Maricopa, Arizona. By the way, this is not just for Christian, but for all Maricopans. We, many years ago, dubbed Maricopa the entertainment capital of Arizona based on these 2 facts. Dwight Yoakam has played here at least twice, once for free, and also Foghat played here for free. And if that doesn't make us the entertainment capital, I don't know what does. So we are the entertainment capital. We're doing what all of you are doing right now, which is we're doing our best to contribute by engaging in social distancing, by being extra nice and kind and empathetic to anyone that we come in contact with. I still do walk my dog through the neighborhood, and I do practice really strong social distancing. I do smile and wave at everyone that I see. One little thing that I haven't done that I used to do is I used to have this little motto. I would pick up at least 1 piece of trash on my walk, maybe more sometimes, but at least one. With the idea being if everybody who was out for a walk in Maricopa Meadows picked up 1 piece of trash, it would even add more to the beauty. I've kind of stopped doing that out of this weird abundance of caution. And Shirley and I are kind of dedicated right now to the last time that we were out at the store on Saturday getting supplies, to doing our best to stay in now for an entire 14 days and stay safe. And I hope that you can stay safe too. It may come to pass that we have some sort of situation where we have to go to the grocery store. And if we do, the last time we went out, we wore gloves, we wore masks. What helps, doesn't help, I don't know. But the main thing I'm happy about right now is that I'm healthy and my wife is healthy and her daughters are healthy. Our grandchildren are healthy. I had a little scare where I had a family member in Los Angeles who had gotten ill, but it turned out to just be regular illness. But even that right now sets out such alarm bells in our heart and soul, doesn't it? But they're fine. My daughter is healthy. My brother is healthy. Most of my family, his fiance or girlfriend, I shouldn't call her fiance. I didn't know at one time. I thought fiance was just a fancy French term for a girlfriend. That means you're going to get married. That's how I ended up married. I kept telling people I didn't want to call. Shirley and I met and we were adults. And I thought as an adult, it sounded silly to go, my girlfriend. Maybe that was my own harsh judgment and critique from when I was a kid. and I had a grandfather, great guy, but a ladies' man, John, my grandpa John, and he got married like 5 times, and he was like in his 50s and 60s, and he introduced us to his new girlfriend. I thought, that's weird for a grown man to have a girlfriend. Nick Rupert has asked, what are those pennants on the wall behind you? Those are St. Louis baseball Cardinal pennants. One is definitely from their 1982 World Series win, and the other one I think is from a championship, a National League championship. It's funny, you collect all this stuff and you kind of don't look at it sometime, huh? But I'm looking at, I will look at it more in depth. We'll take those pennants down sometime this week and make it part of our memorabilia and knickknack section of the show. Anyway, I thought that fiance was a fancy name for girlfriend. So when Shirley and I were dating, cohabiting, okay, are you dating if you cohabit? You're dating. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Okay, you start out dating, and then you live together. And while you're living together, I don't think you're considered dating anymore. That's beyond dating. Okay, there's casual dating. Hello, Wesley Wilbur. Hello, cousin Mimi. Talking about those pennants. Oh yes, they are. Oh yes, they are. One's from '82, and the other one is from I'll have to check. Isn't it sad? And I'm going to tell you a story. If you look right in the corner, right under the pennants there. So on YouTube, if you're looking over here, on Facebook, if you're looking over here, well, there's a couple of autograph pictures that are pretty funny. And I'll tell you about those in the coming weeks. But they're pretty funny for, not because they were made to be funny by comedians, but pretty funny as to how I got them and what they say on them. So anyway, I started calling Shirley my fiance, and everybody goes, when you get married? When you get married? I went, yeah, you know what? We should get married. Okay, so we got married, and I'm glad we did. I'm glad that during this most unusual time in the history of the world, in the history of the nation, in our personal histories, in our lives, that I've got Shirley here with me. I am so incredibly grateful, and I'm so incredibly grateful for those of you that tune in every day or take a look here on YouTube or on Facebook Live every day at 2 p.m. to 2:30. Okay, let's get to the little, and I know a lot of people then look at this afterwards. And for those of you that do that, I am grateful to you too. Okay, let's get to the silly little knickknack portion of the show. Like I said, I've always been kind of a collector, okay, collector of things, autographs. But I mean, always avocationally, not like this is what I do, where I'm an expert in autographs or an expert in, matter of fact, I'm not an expert in anything except how to write jokes. I am good at that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the show progresses. And I got a joke for you guys at the end, which is a clean joke. It's a funny joke. And I'm going to tell it to you at the end of the show, right around 2:27, 2:28. So stick around for the joke. Jokes, generally comics kind of disparage jokes. Comics who up until recently worked on live stages throughout the country and throughout the world. But I always love jokes. Normally don't tell them on stage. The concept of on stage is that stuff that you create in your own mind and share with an audience. But I love them, and they're funny, and they need to be told. And right now you need to hear them. So I'm going to end the day with a pretty funny joke. But right now we're getting to the knick-knack paddywhack portion of the show. And here's what I'm going to show you. And there you go. And YouTubers, there you go. I'm trying to move my hands away. Trying to be like a muddle on Price is Right. There, look at this. What did we win, Carol? You won this fantastic RCA transistor radio. It is a deluxe transistor from RCA Victor. It is only AM. So this thing came from, I'm going to look up the serial number and stuff. But this is a battery powered, no electricity, battery powered only. Hello, Jerry. Transistor radio from back in the early era of transistor radios. And people used to carry these with them everywhere, kind of like this. You could carry them with you. And I had a radio that was a little, there were some that were much smaller, So yes, a long time ago. So this is a prototype because they did become, they did become somewhat smaller as time went by. This is a very early RCA Victor transistor radio, and you could walk around the neighborhood. You could sit in your house and listen to it. Hello, Lily. You could, Lily, my brother Jerry's girlfriend. My brother Jerry is here. You could walk around the neighborhood with these in your hands and listen, and it opened up a window to the world. Prior to transistor radios were big, and we got some big ones here in the house that we'll show you. We don't have what became the thing in the 60s, which was the hi-fi console, C-O-N-S-O-L-E, console. The hi-fi console was a really long, kind of low-standing piece of wood, and inside it was a record player, an AM/FM radio, and a place to store albums. And it actually became like part of the furniture in a living room. Coy Johnson, morning doves. They are mating all over the porch. It's weird to watch them, but I like the singing. Cool. That's what's going on in your place. You guys can tell us what's going on in your place right now. Hello, Trey Goodman. Hello, comrade. Trey Goodman uses the word comrade, so I'm going to use it too. Comrades. Anyway, back to this radio. I never had one this size, but you could listen to. There was a cool thing. They were portable radios. Up until the time of transistor radios were stationary things that sat in people's homes, and you couldn't carry it with you. One of my I've got about 50 old-time radios in this house, many of which I'll be sharing with you later, and I'll look up and give you a little history and story behind each one. But one of the things I loved about being a little kid in old North St. Louis, Missouri, was in sometime on Saturday afternoon as you were walking through the neighborhood, a span of 2 or 3 blocks, which was a whole universe back then. Windows would be open on a summer day, and people would have their radios on, and you could listen to and follow an entire baseball game while walking down the street. With the advent of transistor radios, you were able to take your music or take your game with you, and many guys would then take it with them, or maybe if their wife didn't feel like listening to it, they could listen to it in the backyard, or you could carry your music with you. So I could walk around. My parents would go, I don't want to listen to those Beatles. I don't want to listen to those Rolling Stones. But I could walk around the neighborhood with my little transistor radio, and I had freedom to listen. Hello, Trey, to you. My best to you. We're all doing the best we can right now. So that's the one little knickknack I have here, transistor radio. By the way, if you've got funny little novelties or items in your home and you want to post them here and we'll talk about them, or if you want to send me a picture of them, I will put them up on my Facebook page and we'll talk about them. We'll talk about your stuff. We'll talk about my stuff. We're going to talk about everybody's stuff. Let's get to the album portion of the day, shall we? And I got a couple of interesting things for you here. Let's see what I want to start out with first. Wait a minute. Hold on. It's going to be cool. Okay. Oh, no, this one. This is what we're going with. All right. If you are from St. Louis, Missouri, there's a song on here, and you are a little older or a lot older. There's a song on this album that is permanently etched inside your mind. So here's the album. There we go, YouTubers. You see it? There you go, friends. You see it. For those of you listening on Comedy Schools or RadioNetwork.com, this is an album by a band, I believe, out of Chicago called Lighthouse. And the title of the album is One Fine Morning. Pretty cool album artwork, kind of early 70s, pseudo-psychedelic, semi-Peter Max kind of thing. I'm looking, I can't see, a guy named Brad. I can't make out the name. It's on a label called Evolution. So a guy named Skip Prokop was on drums, percussion, and vocals. So I'm assuming with this band that the drummer was the lead singer. There were bands that had success with that, most notably, of course, the Eagles, with Don Henley being one of the main lead singers. Paul Hofford on piano, Ralph Cole guitar and vocals, Don Davino, viola, DeGarment cello. They had a lot of instruments here. No one here going all the way into they're naming these sax and trumpet players, which I think is kind of cool because a lot of rock bands didn't do that. But these were more of a rock and soul band. Their big hit song off of here was a song called One Fine Morning. Okay, now that name might not mean anything to you. But if you're from St. Louis, Missouri, and you listen to KC 95 in the 70s, you know the song One Fine Morning because that was Keishi's theme music. And it had this guitar riff that went dun 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 dun, and then horns jumped in. See, I can't play the stuff on here because I don't have the copyright. But my idea behind this is to tell you either about music that you loved at one time and may have forgotten about, music you may have never heard of before, so you can explore it. Okay, and obscure albums that that I happen to own that might harken you back. So there, the opening to this album, the opening to that song, One Fine Morning, became the theme for Keishi. And we heard that if you listen to Keishi, and if you were a certain age, that was what you listened to at home. That's what you listened to in the car. That was our station. That was our cultural touchstone in Missouri throughout the late 60s into the early to mid to late 70s. Or as far as I know, it still continued on, but I left St. Louis in the late 70s. But when the music mattered, when you were a kid, when you were young, when you were junior high, high school, college, and the music matters, Keishi mattered, and their theme song for a long time was Lighthouse's One Fine Morning. You should Google or YouTube it, especially if you're from St. Louis. You go, oh my God, yes, I remember that song. So that's our first record. Our second record, and this is not as obscure, but a little more interesting in this band's history, this massive band. And you can tell this is an original that I bought this when it first came out because you can see that you can see here the plastic is starting to rip off. And you can see the price right there. And you can see that on YouTube. And you can see it on Facebook Live. Everybody see it? And this is a Fairport Convention. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. This is Fairport Convention, A Movable Feast. Fairport Convention, A Movable Feast. Now, this is a live album. The big hit from this album was a song called Matty Groves. And Fairport Convention did a kick-ass version of Matty Groves. Now, man, you might be going, oh, that's old and obscure. Matty Groves goes back hundreds of years. Matty Groves is a Scottish ballad. As a matter of fact, Matty Groves, I believe, falls into something called child's music. There was a guy named, I think, Henry Child, who put together a catalog of music from the 15, 16, 17, 1800s, much of which became the foundation of a modern American folk music. And Matty Groves, by Fairport Convention, extremely popular album-oriented rock song in the mid-70s in the Midwest. I urge you to listen to it. There's about 100 versions of Matty Groves, but it starts out, a holiday, the first one of the year. Na, 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 na. And the way they add in violins and bagpipes and organs and stuff is just fantastic. And it's the story of a young guy who is having an affair with a rich man's wife. And the rich man is mean, and he's mean to his wife. And out of her sorrow and her pity and her sadness, she seeks out a lover, and it's young Matty Groves, who is strong, brave, and true. And the husband finds out, and they have a sword battle. There's something about, because you are rich, and have a long, fine sword, and I have but a pocket knife. La na 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 na. Come on, sing it with me, everybody. La na 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 na. Check it out. It's an ancient folk ballad, okay, that has stood the test of time and history. And Fairport Convention introduced it to the boomer generation on a studio album and on this album. And the album, I got to be honest with you, I thought I was grabbing an old Fleetwood Mac album, but I'm not. Because the album has very similar sort of artwork to Fleetwood Mac's Mystery to Me. So that's why I'm saying a more famous band. But Ellen Conley just said, looked up One Fine Morning on YouTube and listened to it, and I remember it well. Yeah, man, if you're from St. Louis, and I know, Koi, you're from Chicago. By the way, Lighthouse was a Chicago band. So many great bands came out of Chicago. Including, of course, oddly enough, the band Chicago. Styx came out of Chicago. other great groups that came out. There were other great. If anybody's Coy, you're from Chicago, you might be able to tell us great musical groups that originated in Chicago. Dan Fogelberg, of course, the great folk singer from Chicago, or at least the Illinois area. So those are 2 albums, or at least songs, that I'm recommending to you today to look up and listen to. So this is episode what, Cheryl, 22? So we're 22 days, some of us longer, into this thing. I may have mentioned that at the end of February, beginning of March, I went to St. Louis to visit my brother Jerry, who's watching right now, and I'm glad I did, and my darling daughter Alicia, who I speak to every day.
That's not St. Louis.
It's not St. Louis. I'm sorry, Los Angeles. I went to Los Angeles and was able to visit them, and this whole thing was beginning to take shape rather strongly. So I'm glad I was able to get there and visit with them. I'm looking forward to being able to visit with them again someday soon. Someday soon, sooner maybe than maybe sooner than we think, maybe later we think, but I will do it. But we're now into day 22 of pretty much the entire country being on some sort of lockdown. I know there's some Republican governors. There's things going on where they say the beaches are open, and some places where they say the beaches are closed. And I respect every governor, every senator, every local mayor, if our local mayor here is watching, everybody who is participating in finding a way to keep us all going the best we can while not going anywhere. Because that's what we got to do, folks. We got to keep going the best we can while not going anywhere. So we're hanging in well. I hope you're hanging in well too. A couple things. I think I mentioned something kind of when this first started. I applied for the emergency disaster relief loan. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't know. Of course, that the entire systems there are totally overwhelmed. I'm going to apply for some other things. Nick Rupert says earth, wind, and fire and sticks. That is right. Both from there. Robert Morgan said someday soon we all hope. It looks like we're reaching a peak hospital bed usage in New York this week. 38,000 beds, down from 55 to 110, projected to peak later this month. Yeah, you're right, Robert, and I've been following that too. And I am heartened by that. We got to keep hope alive, and we're going to keep hope alive. But at the same time, hope's not going to cause me to go running out in the street. Okay? Not yet. Not yet. I still do walk my fine dog Roscoe through the neighborhood. But anyway, the other thing is I was going to do a mortgage forbearance. And I got a letter today saying I could have a 3-month mortgage forbearance, but then I'd have a balloon payment at the end of July. I want to thank a local city councilman, Vince Manfredi, who put out a post going, be careful with these forbearance things because you could be stuck with a giant balloon payment sooner than you think. And I'm going to opt out of that program. We will find a way. We will find a way to pay. We're going to find a way to pay. We're going to find a way to get through. We're all going to help one another. Hello, Bob Austin. Okay, Tim Lawson, I'm doing great here on the farm. Damn it, Tim, I bet you are. I bet you are, man. I've seen pictures from there. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're doing well on the farm. I know my brother Jerry's doing well in Los Angeles, and my daughter's doing well in Los Angeles. I know that Robert Morgan's hanging in there in New York City, right in the thick of it all. You stay safe, Robert. We're going to find a way, okay? And we're going to find a way together. We're going to share good information with one another. You're not going to get any rumors here. You're not going to get conspiracy theories here. I'm just a guy talking to you, and I don't have any more information than the information that you have, okay? I want to stay in touch with you, and I want my family to be safe, and we're going to do those things. I'm going to keep my spirits high, and one of the ways I'm going to keep my spirits high is by doing this with you every day at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This is one of the things we're doing. The other thing that we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, is that we are, oh, look, I'm getting a scam likely call. There we go. We'll just decline that little puppy right there. One of the things that we're doing is we've moved our business online. We have an advanced comedy workshop going on right now that's going to culminate with a live Zoom show April 17th. How will it go? I don't know. This is going to be our first one. We'll do some things right. We'll do some things wrong. There'll be major successes and epic failures. We're going to do a live Zoom show. We're going to invite you. We're going to invite you, our friends and family, to this show. You're going to have a good time. Just leave your email, Comedy School, send it to comedyschools@hotmail.com. We're doing that along with, ladies and gentlemen, we are now doing our beginning workshops online, and that is working out rather well. Well, it's working out. We're getting people to sign up. Okay. Now, if you know anybody who wants to be part of a vibrant, creative community, all right, we're doing this every day for free. Okay. But if you know anybody who wants to be part of a vibrant, creative community, send them our way. Okay. We'd love to have them in our Zoom workshops where we're putting emphasis not just on comedy, performance, comedy writing, but also on creativity. And I've also been working on, for those of you who are interested, a way to show you how to entertain in the age of social media. How to entertain in the ways of social media. Years ago, I was with a company where we were doing stand-up comedy in a tiny booth and recording it. So I learned a lot in those years about how to be able to create stand-up comedy that works not in front, with no live human beings in front of you, okay, but with tens or hundreds or thousands or millions watching. Camera techniques, vocal techniques that'll help you out a lot. If you're interested in doing that, write me at comedyschools@hotmail.com. Check out our brand new website, the ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com website. Shirley has worked on it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a lot of other information for you. All right, there's Kelly Wilson now, finally coming in at the end here. Hello, Kel. Hello, Kel. We've been talking some St. Louis stuff. We've got that going. So we've got our advanced workshop going. New advanced workshop starting April 22nd. I got to tell you that a lot of the, I'll share this with you. A lot of the people who are on the advanced workshop are people I've known for quite a while, and how good it does my heart to see them on that night, all of us together, even though we can't touch. Although, you know, a lot of these guys I never wanted to touch anyway, to be honest with you. But to be able to see one another and be able to interact with one another is truly heartwarming. And the other cool thing is we're having people join throughout the country, from New York, Houston. A woman's joining the workshop from another country. So join in with us, man. I will make it worthwhile. Just like I work real hard today to make this worthwhile to all of you. To say hi to every one of you. To tell you how much I appreciate you. That proves that we've been able to do this now. We've been able to do this now for weeks. And we're going to do what it takes. And when it's over, it's going to be such an explosion of joy and productivity I don't think we can possibly imagine. There'll be some tough times ahead. My heart goes out. My heart goes out to those of you who lost a loved one to this. My heart goes out to those of you who are sick with this. My heart goes out to those of you who have lost a job through this, or in financial panic or anxiety, as I have been a few times during this. My heart goes out to those of you that are quarantined alone, that found yourself flat-footed and by yourself. My heart goes out to all of us. My heart goes out to all of us, that we're all going to connect. We're all going to connect and make sure that we see ourselves through this. Okay? All right. I must got a little preachy there because Nick Rupert just said, what's that joke you had? All right, Nick. Another thing, man, I'm going like real positive in my life right now. I have been a cynic. I have been a creep. I have involved myself in nasty sniping and been one of the guys in the back of the room years ago, making fun of whoever was on stage. That sort of meanness, that sort of pettiness, that sort of jealousy, that's leaving my my personality, and that's leaving my humor. Okay, I think here's the thing for all comics to remember. Okay, and it's a good maxim. Okay. During silly times, we joke about serious stuff. During serious times, we joke about silly stuff. So I'm not into putting people down or making fun of what they're doing. Everybody's going through a terrible struggle. Craig Jacobson said, what are the pennants in the background? Just curious. Love the Vicich Live. I'm quarantined alone. Craig, how are you? Always thought the world of you, Craig. You are an inspiration to everyone. Tim Lawson says, that's our team, Craig. Those are St. Louis Cardinal pennants. One is from the 1982 World Championship, and one is from, I don't know, Shirley, can you look up there and tell me those two pennants?
Which one?
The baseball pennants hanging right there. Okay. She's like, which ones? I'm like, oh no, I gotta.
You can see them through your screen.
I can't make out the years on them.
Well, I don't want to go there.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna get up. Hold on, everybody. I gotta do.
One says 1982.
One says 1982.
One says 04.
04. Oh. All right. So they're both championship pennants. Gee, I feel dumb that I didn't know that. They're both championship pennants. They are both. Oh, no, 04 is not a championship. 04 is when they lost in 4 to the Boston Red Sox. 1 year they won the World Series, and then the other year they lost the World Series. My brother Jerry and I actually flew back. Only World Series game I ever saw in my life. Game 4, St. Louis, Boston, Busch Stadium, St. Louis, Missouri. We both lived in Los Angeles. We flew back to our hometown, spent a lot of money to sit in the outfield and watch them lose that game. But damn it, we made it to a World Series. All right, I think we're going to wrap up. Cheryl, what time we got?
2:31.
2:31. We got to wrap up. Half hour every day, guys. Half hour every day. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your pals. Also on YouTube, our channel is Comedy Schools. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and leave a comment. We will appreciate it tons. Check out our websites, comedyschools.com, comedyschoolsradionetwork.com. Gives you information about stuff we're doing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your joke of the day. Your joke of the day. All right? It's not 69, Tim. It's not 19. They're 82 and 04. Here's your joke of the day. An old man goes into a confessional in a Catholic church, opens up the little window, kneels down. Priest opens up his little window, leans in. The old man says, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned." And the priest goes, "What's your sin, my son?" He goes, "Well, I'm sleeping with an 18-year-old girl." And the priest goes, "Well, how old are you?" He goes, "I'm 80 years old." Priest goes, "Well, okay. For your penance, say 5 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys." The old man goes, "I can't, Father, I can't." And the priest goes, "Why not?" He goes, "I'm Jewish." The priest goes, "If you're Jewish, why are you telling me?" The old man goes, "I'm telling everybody." That's a joke from way back in the book of jokes. There's your joke of the day. All right. I'm telling everybody. All right. And you can tell everybody that one too. My name's Tony Vicich. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, Comedy Schools channel. And of course, you can listen on the Comedy Schools Radio Network.com. In a few moments, these will all be downloaded and you'll be able to go back and watch a recording of them. All right. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right, my YouTube friends. You're always the first on and the last off. All right. So we will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Not necessarily.